What's up, internet? It's John, and it's Sunday. Been a pretty casual Sunday. Got to work out early this morning, and that was really good for me. Someone casually mentioned that the last few vlogs have been boring. I think was the word that they used, which is fine. That doesn't offend me in the slightest. But there's probably a little bit of truth in that regard. I've had a busy week, as many of you know. My dad was in town, and then it was just a bunch of very typical but challenging things related to the startup, as we're talking about financing and what the next kind of season for us is as a company. And those are all just very difficult but very typical things to be going through. And then I think I have shared as well in the past about my struggles with depression and anxiety, and how when things have the potential to change, I get a little bit anxious. In fact, I get very anxious, and it's during those times where I can have some of the biggest anxiety, and that can begin to affect my mood and my behavior, my health overall, a bunch of different things. But one of the things that I've also have struggled with is a form of PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, related to certain events in my life. And it's interesting because almost 10% of all of us will experience PTSD in some way, shape, or form throughout our entire lives. So it's not very uncommon. The triggers, of course, can be very different. I, in particular, have a number of mental disorders already, and so PTSD is already going to be, there's more of a chance for PTSD to develop and for someone like me. And so that's honestly what I've been wrestling with, is just trying to work through some of my emotions, is how I feel about the coming changes, all positive, which are, all very positive changes, but even positive changes can create anxiety. I think a very good example is, getting older, a birthday perhaps, very positive thing really in a lot of ways. But can cause anxiety. Or a new job, very positive thing, but it can cause anxiety. Getting married, a wedding, perhaps the event, positive, but can cause a lot of anxiety. And for me, there have been a couple events in my life that, kind of at a top end level are very positive, but then still can create a lot of anxiety. And so I think the last few days I've been wrestling with that personally, and that's why the vlogs have been a little bit more mundane and banal. But I think that's entirely okay. And so I think the same thing is with the same thing today. It's just me hanging out at home this Mother's Day with my wife, who's sitting next to me. She's awesome. She's the mother of my two amazing kiddos, and I'm so grateful to have her as my best friend and my partner and everything I do. I think I was telling my dad when he was here that I'm more appreciative of my partner and best friend than I ever have been, and I think that continues to grow over the years. I'm just so grateful for my wife and my best friend. But so I hope you guys have had a restful weekend, as I mentioned yesterday. If you struggle with PTSD or know someone who does, send them a kind note today or tomorrow. Just tell them that you love them and that you were thinking of them. It's one of the most important things in terms of recovery or management of PTSD, is having a close-knit circle of relationships. And so there are people in our lives, in your life, in my life, who struggle with these types of mental disorders and challenges and illnesses. And the worst thing that you can do is create distance between yourself and them. Just ping them, remind them that you're there to support them, and that you love them, and that you care about them. That's probably a very good thing to do. And then, of course, happy Mother's Day for all you moms watching. I have no idea how many moms are watching, but I appreciate you watching. Maybe even my mom is watching. So, Mom, thank you. You're awesome as well. All right, have a great Sunday, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.